Hello everybody, how are y'all? Hope everybody's doing fine, I really do. I'm out here in the truck. I had to go to somewhere. This glare's kicking my ass. Kind of overcast and had to come to Gainesville today. Mama had a checkup with her doctor down here. I'll let her know whether or not she's gonna to have some more surgery or not. But they really don't want to do it because of her having an infection the last time in her hip and they had to take it out and all that stuff. So they're scared to do anything to it, but she's getting to where she can't move around a lot, so that's why we're down here. I've been to Gainesville a lot. This is a new place. It took us a little bit to get here. Good thing we left a little earlier. We would have definitely been late. Because it only takes about an hour and 15 minutes to get down here. But it took us an hour and 45 minutes to get here. No joke. We just got here and we left at 12 o'clock. And it is almost 2. So there you go. I mean, we got, 9 minutes before it's 2 o'clock? But anyway. You know, I made a video yesterday, and I didn't put it up for a lot of reasons. It just didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out. But that was then. This is now. This one here should work fine, or at least I hope it will. You know, I'm constantly seeing just the craziest stuff. You know, I don't know how many of you out there have seen these things going on with the president. They telling us what he's been saying. The news media is saying all these things that they keep saying, but what are they keep saying these things, but I don't believe that he's saying those things. The man just can't put sentences together like that. What they're telling us anyway. Now he may have his translator might be saying those things for him, gave him a script to write, and it looks as if, you know, he's saying those things, but he really ain't. And someone's telling him what to say in his ear, or maybe it's on paper. Hell, I don't know. But you know, I'm sorry, people. There's something entirely wrong with all of the things that are going on. What got us here, the things that are still talked about, that should have been gone, and us talking about something else. The last thing that I seen that happened like this, where everyone was talking about it constantly, like the mainstream media is doing with this November the 6th stuff, is just completely, or 12, whenever it was. You know. It is totally out there. It's totally out there. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's happening. I don't understand why the people itself, through our whole country, there hadn't been more people actually, revolting. I mean, really turning their nose to what's going on. And there's so much of this hate and discontent that's being created by Antifa and other organizations similar to them, whatever the case may be. You know, I've made a mention of this, and I'm going to make it again, and I want everyone to understand what I'm saying. Now, when someone asks me what race I am, I have a hard time with that question. You know why? Because I know I have more than one race in me. Everybody does. But I know for a fact that I got way more than that. I know I got Irish. I know that I have some people from England. I also know that I have German in me. And you know, I'm not sure about Oriental blood or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm a big guy, so there's a possibility, but it was a way back, way yonder, don't know. Mexican, there could be some of that in there, I don't know. That would have been a long time ago as well. I do know that somewhere in the line of my family that there was some black ancestors. Now, does that make me black? No, it don't make me black. Don't make me white either. It don't make me Indian either. Don't make me German. It don't make me from England. It don't make me from German and all the other nationalities and races. Okay? It doesn't make me none of those. There is not a race out there, people, that is guaranteed to be one race or another. We said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Obama. His mother was white. Wait a minute. She had all kinds of nationalities in her. Her parents was from England and Germany and some other places. I mean, other races. And they call people white and they call people black. And, you know, people got this mixed up, and they have for hundreds of years. Hundreds. Because a lot of people have had kids with one race or breed, whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it. There are bunches of them now, of people that are having children with a different colored person, whether they're Mexican and an Indian, or Mexican and a black person, or a white person and an Indian, or Mexican or white with a black person, meaning color of their skin lighter, okay? Light, very light brown or very white looking skin people. So it don't really matter now, does it? No, it don't. But now you got these some people that think that, hey, I'm white no matter what. And they have these flags from Germany or German ancestors that wanted to have a super race. Well, at one time, that was considered fair skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. Now, there ain't none of them. And they really ain't. You might have a couple of those. But since all of that happened when they did have some of them, those people have intermixed their race again. So there isn't any of them either, because it was so long ago. You understand what I'm saying? There is not one single race. Never will be. And I wish the mainstream media would quit pushing race issues. Because it's not a race issue. It's a people problem. That's all. It's the way they have learned and grown up. The way they were brought up. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. There are some people out there that I don't care what color they are or what color you want to call them. There's some of them that are so far one way, one strung one way or the other, it doesn't matter. I don't care if they're my color of skin, darker color skin, or in between color, or very super white or very super dark. And that, trust me, that still don't mean anything. That still does not mean anything. Depends on the race, on where they come from and how they come from. People, we've got to start teaching our kids and our people that we are brothers and sisters, no matter what. Yes, they have a different color skin. So damn what? So what? They got different hair. Some people got real curly hair. When I was a kid, when I was about 12, 14 years old, I used to have some super thick hair. I mean, it was thick. And it was curly as holy shit. And I mean curly, buddy. I could get out of the shower and do my towel like this and do it in a certain way and let go of it, and it looked just like I had a perm in my hair. And that's no joke. It wasn't long like this. It just had curls everywhere. And then when I grew my hair real long in the back, when I would get out of the shower, I'd take my hands and put this stuff in it and crumple it up like that right there. And it had them big old curls in it. You remember Billy Ray Cyrus? I was accused of looking like him at one time. Back when I was skinny and younger. I ain't skinny no more, and I ain't young no more. But that was a long time ago. But the point of it is this. Everybody, everyone, everybody is not a thoroughbred of their race. They never gonna be, they never will be, and that's over. And the more that the people fall in love with other people and they have children, the worse it's gonna get. That's just all there is to it. I'm sorry. That's all there is to it. That's your brother and your sister. It doesn't matter. For instance, you got people in your family, and I'm betting a lot of you, your family's not just you and your mom and dad, or you, your mama and your brother and sister, and that's the only thing you consider family. You consider your dad's mom and dad and their kids to be your aunt and uncle and your grandma and grandpa, right? Okay. Well, what if your uncle or your aunt had interrelationships with another breed? Maybe it was Mexican. I say that sounds kind of rude, but Mexican descent, and you got Indian, okay? Which there's a lot of that now down around the border. A lot of those Indians at one time, they moved across into Mexico. So you got a lot of Indian descent down there. I think they were Apache. Don't hold me to that. I'm not really up on my Indian anymore like I used to be, but I think that's what it is. And probably others as well, because a lot of them went across the border. Back way before there was border problems and people would cross the border no matter what. You just knew where you were at when you knew you were there. They didn't have no issues with it because there wasn't that many people. So you got people down there that they're real fair skinned, and you got some that's real dark skinned, and you got some that are Indian descent in color. Like me, when I get out in the sun, I turn red. That's why they called them the red man, because most of your Indians back in the day, when they would get in the sun, they didn't have a brown looking skin, they had a red skin. And trust me when I tell you, I mean, I wasn't sunburnt, and I don't get, I mean, I get sunburned a little bit now because I don't get in the sun like I used to, but that's because I'm getting old. But my skin, if I'm in the sun a lot, my skin tone will have a brown red look to it. It's not burnt, but it's a brown red look. It looks like I'm burnt. I've had people say, man, you look like you are fried. No. And they'll take their hand and they'll rub it on my arm and on my back, or slap me on the back. Friends used to do it all the time. And I said, what the hell are you slapping me on the back for? That didn't hurt. I said, no, why would it hurt? And I would go through the spiel about telling them my ancestors. And then they would say, oh, yeah, I had another friend that was like that. I said, it's just all there is to it. And I'm in Florida. I'm on the East Coast. And I got a beach here where I used to go to the beach all the time. In fact, from the time I was 20 to the time I was 45? No, all the way up to 50. I was at the beach all the time. Especially between the age of 35 and 45. I was at the beach all the time. I went through a bad divorce once, and I lived at the beach. I had a job where I worked at a place, and I worked 3 days, 36 hours. I'd work there 3 days, 36 hours, and I was off for 4 days. And those 4 days, I was at the beach. I'd go to the beach, and I'd either sleep in the back of the truck, sleep in a tent, go home, go to some girl's house, whatever the case was. I would meet someone at the beach, go to somebody's house, we'd go out to dinner, whatever the case may be. But I stayed there most of the time then. Most of the time. I was there all the time. I had to be. I just couldn't stay at home. Didn't want to be at home. There wasn't nobody there. But that's a different story. But everybody, people, you have a different race in you. I'm looking at a guy right now, and I would show you, but I'm not going to, because someone will call me racial for showing it or saying anything about it. This guy, he's actually getting a wheelchair out for someone, and he is Indian, and he's also Mexican descent. Okay, he's got a little bit of both in him. Okay, and the person that's getting out of the car that's with him, now I can't say this for a fact, it could be his dad, but you know, I don't think so. But related, yes. I'm not sure. Could be, well, they're about the same height, but the dad he's a lot older, which this guy's probably in his 40. This man's more like in 65, 70 years old. He's in a wheelchair. I mean, he can walk, but he's still in a wheelchair. Now, this guy could have been just a good neighbor and brought him over here, but I'm thinking no. Okay? But my point of it is this. You can't judge a person by the color of their skin, nor their actions. You can only go by a person that's like that in a lot of different ways, and you got to be a certain way. You got to trust in your neighborhood, in your livelihood, to know who you are, and where you come from. And if you don't, we're going to have all kinds of issues. That's just like Biden right now is in Russia. And people over there they have they have a lot of different races there as well. You got Russian people, you got Italian people, you got lots of different named brand people. And all of those people have different colored skin as well. Like Italian people. Some of them are super dark skinned. They are. But they got straight hair. Then you got the Indian people. They got super dark skin. But some of them have straight hair and some have curly hair. And I'm talking about the real curly stuff. The ones that, it's you almost have to take a pick to pick with. Now, I'm not saying nothing bad about none of that. Okay, I'm not saying bad stuff. I am trying to explain to you people that we do not have a single race in this country to be fighting for. It's just over. It's over. There is no race. There is no race. You either light-skinned person or a dark-skinned person. You're either my brother or my sister. I don't care what color you are. We're somehow related. All of us are. We always been that way. We've all been that way all over. Somewhere. Somehow. We're all related. And I don't care whether you want to run up face and me not know about it or something to that effect. It doesn't matter. It's the point of the fact of the matter that makes sense. If you can't make sense out of life the way you live now, you never will. Never will. Well, depending on your age, it's for sure. But my age, I've seen everything that you can possibly see. I've seen all kind of racial attitude from both sides of the fence, but more so from just one. And that's a fact. And that comes from a lot of the darker skinned people. Not saying that it's their fault, because it's not. And I know that we had issues about slavery and all kinds of stuff back in the day. But I do want to remind you one thing, and I want you to listen real close. The first slave that was bought in this country was owned by a black man from overseas. And that's a fact. No lie. That's a fact. And what brought them over here, or supposedly brought some of them over here, were of the same race or color. Let's go with the color, not race. It's the same color. They spoke English and the other ones did not. That's just like the people that did speak English. Most were of African descent, but they didn't all come from Africa. Some of them come from islands like Hawaii, places like that. And those people are dark-skinned people with straight hair or curly but wavy curls. So everybody is related somehow in some way. There's no reason for you people out there to start raising hell and creating all kind of hate and discontent about other people's lives when you can't even live in your own backyard without fighting with your neighbor. I'm sorry, you can't. I don't care who you are and who you think you are, you ain't gonna do it. Because I know everybody have arguments and have fights. It's always been that way. It's always gonna be that way. But there's no reason why no one is supposed to gang up on anyone else with a gang of people and do that. You just ain't supposed to. And if you do it, you need a good reason to be doing it. And it should be for fighting for freedom, not to get yourself into more slavery. Because that whole war about slavery was really to turn everyone into a slave. They didn't free you. They just gave you the same rights as everyone else was fixing to get. And that's a fact. A total 100% fact. So you thought you were being freed? You were not. Because the people that were saying that you were going to be free were lying to you because they were being lied to too. They got the same rights that you got. So they just as much a slave as everybody else. So y'all bitching about slavery, but the people that didn't know are in slavery too now. So you're both in this one big old bubble fighting against each other with this big old damn bubble wrapped around you, and you think you one or the other, and you ain't neither. You should be in that big bubble with everybody, not a bubble here and then a bubble over here and then another one over here, and all three of you and then three different bubbles are fighting for something completely different, which keeps you confused and keeps the whole world confused and keeps you into that slavery bubble. Worldwide bubble for slavery. They just proved it to you by everyone getting what? A roll up your sleever. And now football players, if they don't get it, they got to take a test before every game and every practice just to see if they got it. By now, everyone that's had a vaccine should have done pass the gene around to everyone by now, and they should not be able or not have it anymore. In other words, they got the corrective gene. That's how our bodies and how life creates and fixes its DNA through life. Well, then they got these other issues about the DNA, the MRDA or whatever the hell they call that crap, which is, it's just another way they say DNA. And the person that's doing that, now what is he? Is he a white person? Is he German? Is he Italian? What is he? Where'd he come from? Damn sure ain't Indian. What is he? What is he? What is he? What is he? I'll tell you what he is. He's a low-life, sorry, self-centered millionaire that's got more money to shake a stick at than anybody else, and is going to make more and more and more now, because all of this has went on, and now he's also the owner of most of the farmland, more than anyone else in our country. Why would he want that? So he can change the way our food is? Why would he want to do that? Does it have anything to do with the roll-up your sleever? Maybe he's having to grow new food because all those people are going to be different people. Because, let's see, Tesla come out. What's that guy's name? Elon Musk. He come out and said in a video that if we got the right sequence of a butterfly, we could put that into a human being and they'd turn it into a butterfly. He said that out of his own mouth. Nah, I'm not lying. Now, I did learn here recently that guy's a little, he ain't. He's got some syndromes. It doesn't matter. They still smart, and he's still one of the richest men in the world, right? So who are we and what are we compared to that? Some of those people they're super, super smart. There's nothing wrong with them. They just got some glitches that make them do certain things that other people don't do. Don't have that. They're smarter in one way and slower than others. You understand? So all of us people that live in the world, we have to deal with this shit. We live in this shit every day. And no one pays attention long enough for anything to pay attention in their brain and in their heart to understand that all we're doing to each other and everybody else with our own single bubble, and we think that our bubble's the only bubble that's right, and we all live in raised bubbles, which we do not, because some of you black people are kin to some white people, or you married to some of those white people, and or not completely white, but you get my drift. And some of you black people, white people, are in cahoots with one of the other races, like Mexico, Oriental, Korean, you name it. German, it doesn't matter from where. Italian. My kids, their mother, her mother and father were born in Italy. Her mother and her father. So she is considered a thoroughbred Italian, right? Well, she's not. There's all kinds of blood in her, because I checked around this, that, and another. But she's dead now. But my kids would be considered Italian. And my children are not only Italian, they're Indian. And not only are they Indian, they got some German in them. They got more Italian than they do anything else, and the rest of us Heinz 57. Like me. I'm a Heinz 57. I got more Indian in me, but I'm still a Heinz 57. You following me? You understand what I'm telling y'all? All of y'all are that way. All of you. They got that. Have you seen, that turn in your blood and see where you come from? Have you noticed the people that done that there for a while? Have you noticed that ain't been being talked about too much anymore lately? That was something that was in the damn news before all this shot stuff, the roll up your sleever. Before all that started, that shit was going on a lot. It was. One of my stepdaughter just done that to find out where and all, and she wasn't what she thought she was at all, and she had Indian in her. You see my point? So, my point of it is to y'all, and to y'all only, everyone that listens to me, I hope that you're listening. There is not a race that you can be kin to or proud to be, because somewhere in that race, something happened that ain't right. Y'all all know that. You gotta know it. That's the way life is. It's not what you thought it was. It just ain't. It ain't. So folks, trust me when I tell you, when you see these people out there bitching, moaning and groaning and crying and whining, start telling them. Say brother or sister. Brother, sister. And tell them, say, you're my brother or my sister. Don't care what color you are. You're still my brother and my sister. Why are you complaining and crying about something that's going to hurt us with our freedoms? That's what this is about, is our freedoms. They're taking our freedoms away and trying to divide us and destroy us because they only want 500 million people in the whole world. There's a bunch of them damn Scientologists, so much is like that. I'm sorry. That's what it is. We don't need that. When we had 7 billion people in our world, you could take in Duval County in Jacksonville, because it's one of the biggest cities or biggest land masses of a city, county in the world. You could take the 7 billion people, stand on them side by side, shoulder to shoulder, front to back, the whole city, and put the 7 billion people in there. This planet is not overpopulated. Now, it takes more to feed them and clothe them, and it takes more resources. I do understand that. But if they would think about how to make things and food, instead of trying to make it where they destroy the people, and figure out a way to make it a love cycle throughout everything, we wouldn't have these issues. But yet, it doesn't matter. You got this person fighting about this thing, you got this person fighting about that thing, you got this person fighting about that thing, and then you got the mainstream media doing this thing and that thing, and before long, what have you got? A fight. And who's going to win? The money. Who always wins the fight? The money. It's always the money. It's always the fucking money. Always. Who loses? Is you and me. You and me. And everyone we know, because we don't know none of them rich son of a bitches like that. We don't. And it doesn't matter which rich son of a bitch you're talking about. You understand? Some of the rich are still bought and paid for by the rich, because they're not that rich. They just got some money. They got them up into a high place, rubbing elbows with the rich. And I'm talking about the 1% rich. I'm talking about the ones that's got more money than anybody else. Like we were talking about the one that's supposed to be getting a divorce, which he ain't getting a damn divorce. And even if he does get a divorce, it's behind the scenes. You don't see them in public that much, no way. You didn't even know they had kids, did you? Some of you didn't, because I know I didn't until a year ago, or 6 or 8 months ago. I didn't know they had kids. Kind of strange, ain't it? But yet then I heard him and I heard her say that if we cured the young people, we'd still have a population problem, so we can't do that. Yeah, both of them said it. Not just one. but both. So do you think that they're fighting for a reason? Yeah. You know why? They want to confuse you. Why they want to confuse you? They want you to think their way. Oh, we're gonna get a divorce. Oh, they're really getting a divorce. Let's feel sorry for one or the other. That's what they want. They want you to feel sorry for him. Because you heard him say about him and Fauci that they were getting the rough end of the stick about this. Oh, the whole roll up your sleeve thing. Remember? But yet they're the ones that started it. They're supposed to get that problem, right? There you go. It is what it is. It's going to be what it is. You're going to have to smoke it and rope it. And then other people tell me that, you know, they got to change the Constitution and they got to have the people to do it. Well, I'm going to be quite honest with you. There's enough damn people out there that's crying and whining about our Constitution right now that it wouldn't take very much for our Constitution to completely collapse. It ain't gonna take much. It'll be gone. And then what we gonna do? Then you'll see an anarchy start, probably around the world, but here first. People start fighting about something they think they're doing when they're really not. Like ISIS. All of those ICE things. Really? ISIS was an American corporation. Proved it. They changed the name to ICE. What they change the name to? ISIS. I can't remember the damn name. I call it ISIS. There's always been ISIS to me, but they did change the name to something else. But the point of it is this. It was an American corporation. Once they got it implemented in foreign land, then they started fighting other people. Then it become over there. It wasn't over here, but it was. It was spelled ISIS, and now it's spelled SIS. This American corporation. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they got changed. And that's just like the other thing that was in the news a lot for a long time was that issue with children that got killed. There's a lot of ifs, a lot of ands, a lot of buts, a lot of crossed T's and dotted I's, and a whole bunch of lies about all of that. And I'm not lying. And now you got those same people doing the same thing about a whole lot of stuff that they shouldn't be doing. But yet, those particular issues like that is just like this issue about the election that's happening and that going on. Those, man, that's the nastiest thing I've ever seen. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. Just my opinion. But there's no way in hell that many people voted that way. Don't care. Didn't happen. Too many people voted. Number one. Way too many people. Ain't never happened. Never. Ever. And it didn't happen this time either. And I don't care whose side you were on. You know it. You know it. So folks, the only thing I could go on, but I'm getting really antsy and I want to say a lot more, but I can't, because if I do, you know what's going to happen. But the things that I've told you, if you listen to them in your heart and into your brain and into your soul, you'll know that I'm telling you the truth. If you can't speak freely, you're not free. If you can't own a gun, you're not free. We have too many laws. I'll agree with that. And those condemning you. We have laws right now, today, where people will go to court and they'll take a plea, which they should not do. But they take that plea, which changes the laws to your constitution and takes your freedoms away. If they can do it to one, they'll commit it to another and another to do the same thing to get away from going to court. Hey, I'm going to get you a plea. Okay, what's the plea for? Oh, well, you'll get off with this, that, and another. Well, they charge you with 20 things and you got 2 that you're going to serve for. You get 5 years instead of 100 years. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If you did those things and they convict you of all those things, then I'm sorry. You need to be there. But to get off, see, most of the people that do go to jail are the honest, working people. The ones that don't go to jail are the criminals, the ones that take the plea. And they get off and they're back in the street within 24 and 48 hours. And then some of them might serve 6 to 8 months and they're back in the street doing the same damn thing. That's a fact. So their plea bargaining stuff don't work for you and me. It only works for the criminal. Just like they want to take your guns away from you. Who's going to have guns? The criminal. Not you, but the criminal will. That's all there is to it. From my cold, dead hands, and I damn well mean it, abolish corporate greed. We don't, we're going to be slaves. Not us. We already slaves. But I meant bona fide, serious, bend over, wipe your ass in front of God and everybody. Bend over and take it up the ass as well. This rich guy over here is going to get some of that booty of yours. Or this rich woman over here is going to get some of that man's booty. You see my point? Look at it like rape. Like, the guy that didn't die, that did supposedly die, that's messing with the other guy that's got more money than anybody else, both of them. You think that man's dead? Really? That man ain't dead. He ain't dead. That ain't the, if it is, it ain't the man that they showed, and he was dead before. Just all there is to it. Why don't somebody do some real serious deep digging into that man's money? Let's see where the money is. Does someone have that kind of power out there? You always follow the money. Follow the damn money. Find him. That's what you gotta do. Find him. Then when you do, make a video. That's what you gotta do. Prove it to the world. From my cold dead hands, and I damn well mean it. Abolish corporate greed for your freedoms. That's all I gotta say. Because if you can't speak freely, you're simply not free. If you can't own a gun, you're not free. If you can't say what you want to say on the street, in your car, own your vehicle, own your home, you're not free. You don't own your car because you pay taxes on your car. You don't own your home because you pay taxes on it. You're just renting both of them. You're not supposed to have to do that in a free country like ours. But you see how the laws over the years have changed? Grow the fuck up, people. Grow up. It's just getting worse. Much love. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, because I lose 1,000 subscribers and gain 1,000 and then lose 500 of them and then I gain them back, and then it's just ridiculous. And then when I put something up to share it, I don't have Facebook no more. I don't have a Twitter that's worth a damn. My Pinterest, my social, all of my social medias have been destroyed. My Reddit's gone. My Pinterest, my Stumble Upon, all of them are gone. All of the ones that I used to be big on was Pinterest and Stumble Upon, and I could put something on them, and boy, I had some people seeing it. Not no more, because I don't even have them anymore. They're gone. You might see some of my stuff still on Pinterest, but I can't put no more up. And generally, 9 times out of 10, I can't see it. You can, but I can't. And how I know that is because I searched before, and I find my stuff when I'm not logged in to nothing. You know, Duchess told y'all stuff like that. I'm telling you too. Monographs told you stuff like that. We've all been trying to tell y'all this stuff for years. And you know, Mark Dyson's a cool dude. Don't get me wrong. But damn, dude, you got to get into the right mode. We got to free our country. We ain't got time to play their stupid ass race game. Quit playing it. Put it down like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? All of those people are idiots and dumb and stupid that are playing the game. Don't play it with them. Don't be one of them. Be above them. Much love, everybody. And dude, I'm not being mad at you, because what you've done has been a great job. I just disagree with the way you're handling this one issue. That's all. Not that that's a bad thing, because you're doing great. Okay? You're doing great. I just wish that everybody could see it in the light that it really is. No matter what, you're kin to someone that you don't want to be kin to. That's all there is to it. Everybody is. Much love to everybody. I love all of you. And I only talk to y'all this way because I know where life's going. And y'all do too. And if we don't fix it, we're not going to be nobody. Much love, everybody. Thank you for coming. Much love to y'all. Bye-bye now. You hear?